Hello and welcome to this Newsline special as we build up to the big match between Rajasthan Royals and Gujarat Titans. Rajasthan Royals are on top of the table and Gujarat Titans equal them on points. Both have 6 points. The winner of this match will go to the top of the table. It's a clash between the Hardik Pandya led Gujarat Titans versus the Sanju Samson led Rajasthan Royals. Joining me in today's discussion is Nikhil Narayan. We'll discuss the likely 11s as well as the expected fantasy 11 that will get our viewers the maximum return. Nikhil, a big clash coming up. Both teams equal on points. Only the net run rate separates them, and the winner of this match go to the top of the table.
It's a big clash, Abhishek. You're right. It's a clash between the two best bowling units, Abhishek. These two teams by far have the two best bowling units in the tournament, and therefore it is not surprising that they're doing well in this tournament. The winner of this clash goes to the top of the position, the perch position, and therefore a lot at stake here. A lot at stake to take early honors in the tournament as we near the halfway stage.
Right, and as we speak, we take a look at the likely 11. First, we'll take a look at the likely 11 of Rajasthan Royals, who are the top of the table. They have been an impenetrable force so far. You know, Sanju Samson is the captain. Our likely 11 says Jos Buttler and Devdutt Padikkal will be the openers. Rassie van der Dussen at number 4. You know, Sanju Samson generally bats at number 3. Rassie van der Dussen, South African power hitter, at number 4. Shimron Hetmyer and Riyan Parag operating as the finishers. The star spin duo Ravichandran Ashwin and Yuzvendra Chahal. And the fast bowling department being led by Trent Bolt. Also there is Prasidh Krishna and Kuldeep Sen, who played brilliantly in their last match against Lucknow Super Giants, I think.
Yeah, this is a very good team, Abhishek. If you see, they have all bases covered, but the USP is the 4 world-class bowlers they have. True. Each of those 4 bowlers, Ashwin, Chahal, Trent Bolt, and Prasidh Krishna, can win the match for the Royals individually. And that is the combined X factor of this team. 4 world-class bowlers. You know, the opposition cannot relent. I mean, one bowler after the other. They have someone for the power play, Trent Bolt. There's someone for the death overs, Prasidh Krishna. Middle overs are controlled by Ashwin and Chahal. An off spinner, a leg break bowler, and then Jos Buttler, the highest run scorer of the tournament.
You know, that's, I think, the main, you know, if you have to say the main turning point of Rajasthan. After the auction, it seemed like Rajasthan was going to be a power-packed bowling unit because of the presence of Yuzvendra Chahal, a champion leg spinner, and Ravichandran Ashwin, a veteran off-spinner. Apart from Trent Bolt, who had been brilliant for Mumbai Indians, you know, these past years, you know, he always used to take wickets in the power play. This time, he is not only taking wickets in the power play, but he is taking wickets in the death too, supported well by Prasidh Krishna. But the real turning point is the performance of their batters, Sanju Samson, Jos Buttler, Shimron Hetmyer, most importantly, all have been really great.
Absolutely. For me, Shimron Hetmyer has been, although Buttler is the highest run scorer, but Hetmyer, INR 8.5 crores. We were all sort of, you know, very unfair to him, I would say, that why has he been given so much money? He's not done anything in the previous season. Hetmyer, 4 high-impact performances in as many matches. You know, 4 match-winning performances, absolutely brilliant with the bat, coming in difficult situations, striking at 262 in the death overs, which is the highest for any batsman in the death overs in this tournament, Abhishek. So for me, this is a very balanced unit. And remember, brilliant strategy also. Remember the Ashwin retired out strategy.
Yeah.
So no, they're also thinking on their feet. You know, Royals, I think this time they want to go all the way. They want to repeat the heroics of 2008.
At least they have the batting depth also, you know, because last match, as Nikhil mentioned, Ravichandran Ashwin was at the crease. He retired himself out and Riyan Parag came in and he hit a 6. Ultimately, Rajasthan Royals won that match against LSG by just 3 runs, and that 6 was really crucial. He retired himself out. This is the first instance in IPL that a player retired himself out to give a power hitter, you know, like Riyan Parag the chance. And this is a trend, according to experts, which is going to, we'll have to see that trend, you know, more in the coming matches. Now, you know, Sanju Samson's role, you know, he has been also doing really great. Overall, the top 3, I mean, what does GT have to do, you know, to stop this top order?
I think they have to strike they have to strike early in the power play, and therefore I think the wicket of Jos Buttler becomes very important. They need to get Jos Buttler early. If they get Jos Buttler early, the Royals will maybe panic, and there'll be extra pressure on Sanju Samson and the middle order, because Jos Buttler is striking big runs at a very high scoring rate in almost every match. So get Buttler early. Devise strategies to get Buttler early, and maybe start with spin. Maybe start with leg spin. They have Rashid Khan, right?
Yeah.
Why not? So, they have to, do something different to get Jos Buttler out.
Right, and maybe they will start with spin, that is GT will start with spin. Maybe they'll open with pace also, because they have a great bowler in Mohammad Shami, who has been doing really great. Now we'll take a look at the GT likely playing 11 for today's match. GT are on also 6 points, only the net run rate separates them from RR. They are at the 5th spot. Hardik Pandya, brilliant captaincy so far. He just scored his maiden half century as GT captain also in the last match. Shubman Gill and Matthew Wade are their two likely openers, although Matthew Wade has not been performing that great. Maybe they can have a look in for Riddhiman Saha as well. Sai Sudarshan in the middle order, David Miller, Avinav Manor, Rahul Tevote again. Like RR, they also have a packed middle order, full of players who can hit the big shots and finish the innings really well. Rashid Khan, champion leg spinner, Darshan Nalkande, their another spinner, and Mohammad Shami, their most informed bowler, Loki Ferguson, the really fast bowler from New Zealand.
Yeah,
again, if somebody has to stop Rajasthan Royals, they have the ammunition to stop Rajasthan Royals, right?
Absolutely. So again, a very strong bowling unit. In fact, bowling Rashid Khan, Loki Ferguson, Mohammad Shami, very, very strong bowling unit. I was critical of their batting after the auctions. I did not expect them to do so well, because Shubman Gill used to play as an anchor when he was playing for KKR. Wade, great in the World T20, but not one of the most, big names in international T20 cricket. And then David Miller is, past his prime. And there's some newcomers. Hardik Pandya was disastrous for MI as a batsman last season. But they have proved all of us wrong, Abhishek.
True.
The way Shubman Gill has rediscovered himself, he's striking at 160 plus, 2 match-winning knocks, both. He was the highest impact batsman in both those matches for GT. They won both those matches. He's transformed from a strike rate of 120 to a strike rate of 160. It's deliberate. After making a statement, I don't care about strike rate, clearly he does now. And then Sudarshan has been a find. Miller hasn't done much yet, but Tewatia showed again in one match what he did. 2 sixes of the last 2 deliveries. Manohar has been excellent. Hardik Pandya, he's been the revelation, Abhishek. Brilliant as a captain. Great tactics, fielding changes, bowling changes to get himself on with the new ball, bowling at 140 plus, very restrictive economy rate of only 4.66, amongst the best in the tournament in the power play, promoting himself to number 4 as a batsman, not producing those 150, 160 strike rate innings, but very consistent. He hasn't failed in even one match with the bat. Also the half century, as you mentioned. So Hardik Pandya for me is the all-rounder of the tournament so far.
And then another important thing which I think really works in GT's favor is that 2 players, who till the IPL 2022 were not so much reputed, their reputation was more as a ODI player or a test player, Shubman Gill and Mohammad Shami. They have really transformed their game, especially Shubman Gill. He has been doing really great. He missed twice. He missed centuries by a very close margin. In one of the matches, he was out for 96. And Mohammad Shami also is doing really great. Now we'll take a look at the Fantasy 11 for our viewers. It's an interesting choice, because both teams have power pack players. There's little to separate these 2 teams, and it reflects in the points table. Only the net run rate separates them. And now we'll have a look at the Fantasy 11. How do you think the Fantasy 11 lines? Here's the Fantasy 11 lineup. Hardik Pandya is the captain. Nikhil, you want to have one on him?
We have to make Hardik Pandya the captain because he's the highest impact all-rounder of the tournament. Also, he's proved all of us wrong. We said Hardik Pandya is a very self-absorbing player, self-absorbed player. He doesn't think about the team. He doesn't have those qualities, but he is thinking about the team. He's been one of the best captains in the tournament. Therefore, GT is in the position where they are. So Hardik Pandya, for his multi-dimensional skills, has to be the captain. For the form, has to be the captain. And then we've got Shubman Gill. He's been the prolific opener. 2 match-winning 50, striking above 160. Butler, highest run scorer.
Yeah, there's no way you can have any other opener, right? Shubman Gill and Josh Butler
have to be the openers.
Have to be the openers. Sanju Samson, again, a brilliant choice at number 3. If for Rajasthan Royals, we have seen if the opener gets out early, he can play long innings. If the openers survive and he has to come at around like 10 overs, 11th over, he is the man who can keep the strike rate going. He is a perfect man for that. And maybe, although Hardik Pandya is the captain, Sanju Samson as captain would not have been a bad choice either, right? I mean, last season he hit a century. This season also he looks to be in great touch. Rassie van der Dussen at number 4. That's an interesting choice because he was introduced just in the last match for Rajasthan Royals. But again, for South Africa, he has shown that he can get those big shots.
Absolutely. He's been great form for South Africa in domestic and international cricket. Shimron Hetmeyer selects himself. He's been the best finisher in this tournament, even better, I would say, than Liam Livingstone. And then if we can go back to the Fantasy 11, we have David Miller, who hasn't done much, but we know what David Miller does, when he is in form. And 2 left-handers, against, will one after the other in the middle overs who can, strike the ball. Both of them like to hit over cow corner in the mid-wicket. So I think that's a good choice. David Miller, he's an X-factor batsman. Chahal as spinner with Rashid Khan. I mean,
power packed. I mean, there's no way you can look.
He's the highest wicket taker.
Highest wicket taker, Chahal, and Rashid Khan in and
the
IPL.
best spinner in IPL by far in IPL history.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, as a high-risk option, maybe if we put Shimron Hetmeyer as the captain, that would be a high-risk option for viewers. I mean, because Shimron Hetmeyer, he comes lower down the order. He is consistent, but then, with lower order batters, you never know. He might face only 3 balls, he might face 10 balls. It all depends on the situation. So, Hardik Pandya is a safe choice. He comes in at number 4. He will definitely bat for Gujarat Titans. And Shimron Hetmeyer is a high-risk option. And Yuzvendra Chahal as vice-captain, I think it's a right choice. I mean, he's the top wicket-taker. There's no way, any other bowler could have been the vice-captain of this team.
Absolutely. So, Yuzvendra Chahal in Rashid Khan, we've got 2 leg spinners. We've also seen that leg spinners, it's a norm and trend in this tournament that leg spinners are now ruling the roost. They have a better bowling strike rate than fast bowlers. They have a better economy rate than fast bowlers. So, quality leg spinners are coming onto their own after week 2. And then, of course, we have Trent Bolt. How can we not have the best overseas bowler in the power play after Deepak Chahar? I mean, Trent Bolt selects himself in this 11. And who is the last bowler, if you can see the Fantasy 11?
Before we go to the Fantasy 11, the last fast bowler, a message to our viewers. Do like, share and subscribe News 9 Sports. That's a new YouTube channel where we bring to you special content on sports from across the world. So do show some love to our new channel. Now let us go back to our Fantasy 11. Trent Bolt is a choice for the fast bowler, and Lockie Ferguson again, both great players of New Zealand.
Both great players of New Zealand, also a left armer and a right armer, so we have variety. Trent Bolt, swing with the new ball, seemed best new ball bowler after Deepak Chahar in the last 3 years. Maximum wickets after Deepak Chahar in the last 3 years in the first 6 overs. Lockie Ferguson, just raw pace, body line. He was the best fast bowler in the UAE leg last season, at your throat. So you have to have Lockie Ferguson. He gives you that, zeal with the new ball. So Lockie Ferguson, Trent Bolt select themselves also.
My only concern with this Fantasy 11 is there are as many as 7 foreigners in this Fantasy 11, and maybe in place of Rassie van der Dussen, we can have a guy like Rahul Tewatia, because he has been a finisher. He is left-handed. He has proven his potential, and in place of Lockie Ferguson, if we can have Prasidh Krishna, I mean, so that will give us 5 foreigners and 6 Indians. That would be a great choice actually.
Yeah, then it will make it a truly Indian Premier League Fantasy 11. Yeah, so if you want to have a 6-5 combination, then those options by Abhishek, Tewatia and Prasidh Krishna are excellent replacements for Rassie van der Dussen and for Lockie Ferguson.
True. So that's the end of our show. The match begins at 7 p.m. The toss is at 7 p.m. We'll start building up for the match. There's some audio problems. We'll talk about the match. Start building up about that match from 6:30 p.m. with our Hindi show on TV9 Bharatvarsh and TV9 Uttarakhand's Facebook and YouTube channel. And also from 7 p.m. we'll come live on News 9 Sports and News 9 Live. Do join us then. Thank you and goodbye.